Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this flower of life pattern in Affinity Designer. As I explained in my previous tutorials, in order to create a pattern for a pattern fill in Affinity Designer, we first need to identify the tile that repeats itself throughout the composition. In this particular pattern, I identified the following tile that I highlighted with the red rectangle. The key to identifying a tile in a pattern is that it must start at the top, where it ends at the bottom, and it must start on the left, where it ends on the right. In this particular pattern, we will create the tile as white stroke on a transparent background, and we will create the gradient background as we do the pattern fill. Alright, so to get started, we go to File New and we create a new composition. We give it 1000 by 1000 pixels in dimensions. And then we go to the Margin tab and we uncheck Include Margin and we click on Create. And then we make sure that Snapping, Snap to Spread, Snap to Object Bounding Boxes and Include Bounding Box Midpoints are enabled. And then we're going to start drawing the figure. So we take the Ellipse tool, we set the fill to None, we leave the stroke as black, and we set the stroke width to 2 points. And then, starting from the middle of the composition, and while holding Ctrl and Shift to expand from the center and keep the 1:1 proportions, we go ahead and we create a circle of around 200 by 200 pixels in dimensions. And then we select the circle with the Move tool, and we press on Ctrl J to duplicate it, and we move the duplicated circle to the right, until its midpoint on its left extremity matches the center point of the first circle. And then with having the second circle selected, we go here to enable Transform Origin, and we set the rotation center in the middle of the first circle, and we press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate, we set the number of copies to 5, and the rotation angle to 60 degrees. And we'll click on OK. So this gives us our first round of 6 circles. So this figure is called the Seed of Life. And then we're going to need another round of 6 circles. So we select one of the circles and we press on Ctrl J to duplicate it. And then we take the duplicated circle and we position it in such a way that its midpoint on its right extremity matches the intersection of circles here at the bottom left. And then we take the rotation center and we position it in the middle of the composition. We press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Preview Settings to apply the same settings as for the first round of circles. And we check on Duplicate, so it will duplicate 5 times by 60 degrees. And we click on OK, so this gives us our second round of circles that we need for the figure. And now we have all the circles that we need to create the tile. So the tile is going to be located from this intersection here to this intersection here. And we are going to delineate it with the rectangle tool. So we take the rectangle tool, we set the fill and the stroke to None, and then we draw a rectangle from the intersection here to the intersection here. And then we select the rectangle. We make sure that it is positioned correctly. So now what we are going to do is to set the stroke color of the circles to white. So we select all the circles and we set the stroke color to white. And then we're going to set the background of the composition to transparency. So we go to File, Document Setup, we go to the Color tab, and we check on Transparent Background, and we click on OK. And then we select the rectangle again, and we're going to export its content. So we go to File, Export, we set the document type to PNG, and the area to Selection Area to export only what's within the rectangle. And then we click on Export. So now that we have exported the tile, we can use it to do a pattern fill. So we go ahead and we create a new composition. And then we take the rectangle tool, set the fill and the stroke to none, and we go ahead and we create a rectangle all over the composition. And then we take the gradient tool, we leave the context to fill, we set the type to linear, and we create a gradient from the top left to the bottom right. And I will set the top color to a dark shade of blue. And the bottom color to a darker shade of blue. And then we can bring in the tile. So we take the vector float fill tool. Then we go here to set bitmap fill. And we select the tile that we just created. We click on the composition. And as you can see, this creates a pattern fill. And then we can adjust the handles to make the pattern bigger or smaller as we want it. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create a flower of life pattern in Affinity Designer. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time. Bye!